Welcome to this episode of Modern Leaders powered by AI. Today we're going to look at how you as a leader find your way in all the cool concepts that you would like to implement in your teams and in your organizations. There are so many good books out there, there are so many good concepts. It is hard to find your way in them. And every single one seems consistent and complete in itself, but how do they connect to each other? And how do you translate what they describe as concept into real behavior? Because in the end, that's the only thing that counts, is that those concepts turn into behavior in your teams and in your organizations. That is what we're going to try today with ChatGPT. Now, I have switched to ChatGPT. As you can see, I'm using the model 3.5 and not the latest model 4, simply because it's so bloody slow. I'm not going to bother you with that right now. I think it's going to be fine with 3.5. I'm going to start by copying in here a list of my absolute favorite books and favorite concepts. The Toyota production system, high output management, the lean startup, radical candor. I'm afraid Debbie from marketing has left for the day. A book that nobody knows anything about, but which very beautifully describes why behavior in the end is the key. Drive, switch, 4 disciplines of execution. Now, I'm going to ask ChatGPT to correlate these concepts for us. What does ChatGPT say? Management and leadership, process improvement, especially lean startup and the Toyota production system, high focus, behavioral change, switch and drive, how to actually change things, Debbie as well, radical candor, how to be honest, being straight, direct, humor in the workplace, Debbie has a lot of humor in the workplace. There's not really a link to the other books. There's a bit of humor in them, but not that much. Let's say list more. Remember, always ask for more results. The interesting stuff typically comes after the first list. Goal setting and accountability, yes, very important for many of the books. Mindset and attitude. Change management, all good results. I'm gonna ask one time more. List more. Data analysis, yes, being honest with yourself, measuring and actually acting on facts. Organizational culture and personal development, yes, Drive is very much focused on personal development. Indeed. Now, let's ask ChatGPT to generate 10 values that highlights these concepts. Continuous improvement must be on the top. Accountability, candor, radical candor, giving feedback, agility, empathy. All good stuff. I lack here trust. I also lack team or collaboration. Again, ChatGPT gives you a answer, it doesn't give you the answer. A lot of good stuff here, but if I need to create 10 values, I would add a few things to this. But that's our good right as leaders. Now, values are great if they form behavior. In the end, the values are just words. I think we all experienced that multiple times. You had a beautiful words on your website. In the end, nothing happens. Why not? Because it didn't turn into behavior. And the only thing that really counts in teams organization is behavior. Words are cheap. Behavior is what counts. So let's ask ChatGPT to highlight for these 10 values what kind of behavior we should see. How we identify that the values are actually being lived. There are some pretty straight things here. Creativity, ability to generate new ideas. We could even see if we can measure the new ideas are being generated. Empathy. The behavior should be a bit more detailed if we really want to define behavior, but this is a pretty good starting point. We have some pointers here about which areas we should focus on to see what behavior the company should show. Now, let's ask a bit more. Each behavior should have a cue, something that starts it, and should have a reward at the end to basically create that loop that make the behavior into a habit. So we asked ChatGPT to identify the cue and to identify the reward that we should give. We get a lot of good stuff there. Just need a second to read through it. Let's take the last one. Respect cues may include exposure to diverse background or perspectives. So basically triggered if you have an employee or a colleague from a different culture. We want to have a certain behavior following that afterward. And the reward is of course a personal relationship with the person, and maybe recognition from the company for being open-minded should be standard these days, but you never know. There are some good cues here, and there are some good suggestions to rewards to basically turn that behavior into a habit. Now, let's ask the last question of this time, and that is the incentives. What incentives could we give in the company to further these behaviors? Could offer bonuses. Again, more bonuses, training, coaching, creativity, offer time or resources for people to be creative, yeah. Learning, offer tuition, reimbursement, yeah. Allow people to attend conferences and training sessions, or pay, or not only allow it, but pay for it. Purpose, provide regular feedback and recognition. And respect, offering training or coaching to help employees develop their diversity and inclusive skills. That is some good reward models. So I guess if I went through this and extracted them, merged some of them, I would in total get a reward model that would further the behaviors, that would outline the values, that would follow the concepts that are in those books. That's all for this episode, folks. Went all the way from cool concept in a lot of different books over values to behaviors to how to create a positive feedback loop to turn those behaviors into habits. Because in the end, that is what's gonna drive your teams, your organization forward. I hope you enjoyed it. Click that subscription button so you don't miss out on any other cool ideas.